All you are doing is to make nice parks. Sorry, no, it's not. For corporation get more money. Then so the problem, the thing you have to demonstrate, I suppose, to all these people you are discussing, is that you are not doing that. You are bettering the city and the living in this living conditions in the city. But I'm not very, well, I don't know if really you have the meanings, the aims to, not the aims, the meanings to control your action. Yes. If to do this kind of big projects without a housing policy or a social policy could be even dangerous from my point of view. You know, it's what I am thinking. Sorry, why? Well, because all these people, probably it's not a minority only being displaced, but it's all the workers of Taiwan taking the train 2 hours every day to go to work, and so these kind of things. So it's gentrification, it's tertiarization, it's all this that in Europe or in America have from many years now. So, well, that's, I think you cannot, to be really holistic, you have to implement this, incorporate this in the discussion, because otherwise I think it's dangerous really. For, not only for the workers, for the landscape, for all.
More reactions?
This is two kind of things I want to share with all of you. The first one is go back to what Bernardo said, that we have to be clever, we have to be smart, we have to try everything we can, etc. That's why we are together now, I think, you know, that's very important. I'm very lucky to be a part of this. But you know, I just talking a little bit with Professor Shah this morning. I said we need to educate a new generation of engineer and architect, and it is not easy. Every time I've been confronted by the young student. You are so idealist. What have you achieved in your 60 years old? You know, and I just can tell them very little things. So what I want to say is, it's need a huge of courage from the young people to be idealistic in this time, in this particular time. In our time, Jürgen, it was more easier. We have the Vietnam War. It was very easy to put ourselves on the.
Oh, we have now the Iraq War.
Yeah, okay, but the situation is changing now. As expressed, I'm not directly disagree about what David said, that Obama maybe opened some doors for a new movement. On the other side, it's very difficult for young people now to have a clear why they should be idealistic one, you know, so idealistic student. That's the first point I want to share with you. The second one is maybe we should not only discuss about the trend, the international trend of the architecture and city planning, where we all agree today about the mistakes we made and the mistake of all what we have done, and also that not many changing happened since, since the 30s, 50s, etc. We are trapped in a technological fetishism, etc., etc. That is, I think, it's okay. But on the other side, the situation is different. Never, I think, in our civilization, we are the urban model are in big question, because now is everything in the world the city look like the same, and also the system who drive them to drive the development are more or less centralized as the same system, etc. It's easier for us to discuss each other, but the problem is by developing this new global system, they're destroying any other alternatives. So they make us more harder to find the solution, to find the creative solution, because the possible potential alternative is in dying in this period, So that's why I said I'm not pessimistic. I'm still trying, but we should aware about these two problems. Thank you.
Paula.
There's one point in what David Harvey was telling before in his conference about the new scale of the city. You said each time is a new scale of the city that is proposed, and you were describing this last scale as a kind of world scale. But I don't really think this is the point. I mean, it's not the point that it's a world scale, it's a point that is a different form of city, and it's very specific. It's not just a world global phenomena. Is a new type of space, physical space, I mean. And in a sense, I would reverse your title. Is not the right to the city or the right to the megalopolis, but is more or less a kind of condemnation to the megalopolis. In the sense that there are not so many critics about this. We seem to accept as a kind of normal thing. Maybe we need to reflect more about this specific type of space and the way in which this space is produced, as you were quoting Lefebvre. There is a second point I would like to ask you some reaction. It seems to me that all the things we are saying are severely putting in question one very crucial and central point of our idea of modernization. I mean, the Western idea of modernization as a process of individualization. And it seems to me that we are in a way facing the crisis of this process of emancipation in the sense of giving freedom and space to individuals. What do you think about this crisis? I mean, do you see this crisis or not?
The crisis of individualization.
Well, that's certainly a problem. Let me go back to the first point, which in some ways I think is one point. I didn't have time to elaborate on it, but it's interesting that when we talk, for example, about the idea of jumping scales, what's happened is that it's not that everything's just gone global, but the whole kind of scales at which activities are generated have been transformed. And I guess the best way to think about this would be to say, for instance, when Robert Moses in a way worked at the metropolitan scale, one of the reactions was Jane Jacobs to talk about the neighbourhood scale.